It should be working. I'm going to check my multitude of tabs. I have my beautiful boy, my beautiful, completely apolitical character here. I'm in Mercy Island, and I want you to come find me, which will be really easy.
Oh, I see you all the way from over here. It's that rat F. Kaiser Jr. I see you all the way across the map.
Yes. I just want to say that this man has no connection to any public figure. Zero.
Are you working on your autism book report?
I want you to know that vaccines cause divorce. Yes, I'm working on the Autism Registration Act because we need to make reality more like the fucking X-Men comics.
Yep.
So, good times, great fun.
They'll build giant robots to track autistic people down, but the good news is they won't work right and they'll suck.
I'm a completely normal entity.
Normal human.
I'm completely normal. What are you talking about?
Not scurrying around at all.
So I want. What do you think? Do I look like a rat?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a donkey rat man.
Okay. Yes.
You're looking for bugs to eat.
I'm looking for
Roadkill.
I'm looking for roadkill. Thank you. All right.
There's bound to be some around here somewhere. This place is a dump.
Oh God. So I think this guy is already in the super group. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I made him president in a video game because he ain't going to be president in real life. Hi-oh. Anyway, what level are you? You're level 10. Invite me to this shit show. Thank you. Thank you, Prophet Motive and Rat F. Kaiser Jr. I didn't want to just say Kennedy.
Right.
I didn't want to just say Kennedy. And Jess helped me come up with like a name, like a K name that could be enough like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay. I'm happy.
And gets it across.
Yes. If I'm wondering if Rat F is too much for the City of Heroes Urban Development Planning Board. I'm just kind of curious. Like, you know, if somebody narcs on me for, I don't know, having F in my name, I'm just going to say that I'm Rat Francis Kaiser Jr.
Yeah, I think there's plausible deniability.
My middle name is Francis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, what are we doing? Let's do a mission. We've got homework that's well overdue to talk about.
All right. Well, I guess we got to go somewhere.
We probably got to go to Port Oaks.
Yeah, let's go to Port Oaks.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use the teleporter in the base, which is a thing that you can do as well.
All right.
Just follow the giant rat, man. Hide your nannies. I'm getting handsy. Oh, God. We're going to Port Oaks. I'm ready for it. Oh, Mickey the Ear wants to talk to me.
Oh.
The Mickey the Ear. I do like the animal walking around. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I've never used it.
Now's a good time.
Now's a good time to really get out my frustration. We're gonna go get the plans. I'm ready.
You gotta kill skulls.
I'm all right with that. I wonder if I can actually just use this as a travel power.
Well, it's pretty fast.
Just give him a jetpack. Like, I can buy a jetpack.
Yeah.
I usually do travel powers, like, on everybody, but I don't know if there's, like, thematically you're like, hey, I don't want my giant rat man teleporting or, you know, whatever.
Right. It's got to be thematic.
Yeah, my immersion. All right, I'm ready. What plans are we getting?
I'm really not sure.
Are we here for their vaccine research? I'm here to take your vaccine research. Oh, I've also been wanting to use Savage Melee for a while, so I guess I've made a mashup of RFK and like some sort of rat-based saber-tooth man.
It works.
And I do like that you're just spewing money every way, so it does kind of look like I'm a cat trying to catch something.
Come on, get the money. Get the dollar bills. This jerk.
Ooh,
Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
God knows what mutagen I am slinging at this poor person. Oh God, I've not played a brute in forever. But anyway, all right. So, like a month ago, I told the internet to watch the first episode of the latest season of Black Mirror, season 7. And we watched the first episode like a month ago, and I guess now we're going to talk about it, if you're cool with that.
Finally.
Okay, finally, yes. It is Common People, and it has absolutely nothing to do with anything in America. At
Not at all relevant in any way.
It is not political at all. And does not fully encapsulate the horror and stupidity of our medical system. The greatest way of dispensing medical health care in the universe.
Yeah, it's definitely to tie it in with profit motive.
At all. Yeah, it had nothing to do with that. This episode was so fucking a downer that it made me sad.
It is a big downer episode.
It really is. It's closer to what Black Mirror is than like our the previous homework that we have dispensed to the internet.
Yeah, it's more of a classic kind of Black Mirror episode.
Yes. Putting the blackness in the Black Mirror.
And it did have it. You know, it had some kind of tonally weird stuff, but consistent with the kind of stuff they've done before. where sometimes there's something really bleak happening, but it is also kind of funny.
Yeah, and
Like the
maybe
wide awake nightmare of going into a fugue state and just spouting ads
yeah. So
and not even knowing that you've done it.
yeah,
Like it's horrifying, but it's also really funny.
yeah, and it's I don't think it was an accident that they cast people who were normally associated with comedies.
Right.
Chris O'Dowd
I think so, yeah.
and Rashida Jones.
Rashida Jones, yeah.
Okay, which I'm not familiar. I'm more familiar with him than I am with her.
Yeah, I've only ever really seen her in Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Oh, and The Office. She was on The Office for a little bit.
I did not watch either of those.
They're both funny shows.
Okay. I did watch the IT Crowd. Some of it has not aged well, and the creator has not aged well at all.
Well, yeah.
But that's something else.
Yeah, we're talking about a different British person.
Yes. A different British turf. No, God, I hope Charlie Booker isn't a turf. I hope he's not.
I was going to say, I would be surprised.
I would be surprised. But
yeah,
that is Turf Island. I hope
Right.
So, anyway, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I can't handle any more British people that I like turning out to be monsters.
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman was hard to hear. It was hard. Jess went to get his book signed. It's sad.
Yeah.
The only person that she has ever stood in line to get a book signed was that sex offender.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, alleged sex offender. Oh God, and now
Allegedly.
Okay, kiddo, I can't fix this. I don't know what you've done. I cannot do tech support on your tablet right now. I don't know what to do either. So this is a different language. Only Mom knows. Well, Mom is at work, so you're gonna have to go do something else. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am not doing tech support right now. My daughter has done something to her tablet, and now she is going to have to use a different technological device to figure it out. She is going to have to figure that out.
21st century problems.
Yes. So I am going to level up. And what the hell were we talking about? Yeah, we were talking about Black Mirror.
Yeah, common people.
Common people. So I guess what's a basic synopsis?
Yeah, they're regular people. What Rashida Jones is a teacher. Her husband is like a welder.
Yeah.
It looks like. So, he has a blue collar but skilled job.
Yes. They make enough to get by.
They make enough to get by. They're thinking about having a baby.
But they can't due to financial reasons because they are very very expensive, and they expect you to fix their tablet when it doesn't go right. But anyway, please continue.
Yeah, and even though they are both skilled professionals with full-time jobs, they're still in a position where having a child would be a financial burden that they're preparing for.
Yes, they're
preparing for it. But then Rashida Jones, she
has a medical emergency. She has a tumor.
She has like a brain tumor, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, and basically she's gonna die. There's nothing they can do about it until
she's gonna be in a coma.
At least in a coma.
Yeah, she's not waking back up.
Right.
And
Until a miracle technology is offered.
Yes.
To get her back to normal, which basically involves quote unquote normal.
Yes.
Which is some manner of brain implant, hand wavy. You get a brain implant.
She gets a brain screw.
First, they copy your consciousness, and they upload it to the cloud.
Which is a thing they can do.
Hand wave. They upload it to the cloud, and then they put the implant in your brain, and then they stream the missing parts of your brain to the implant so that your brain can function. And
there's increasing horrible conditions to this service agreement. That
at first it costs what, $300 a month?
Yes,
that's their introductory price because they're trying to roll it out and get adopters.
Yes,
right. Get people into it.
And
but they don't.
And she can only go within certain range of their cell towers.
They basically have cell towers.
Yes.
And if you go outside of the range, you just fall unconscious because it can't stream the missing parts of your brain. So if you fall back into a coma.
Yes.
But they're rolling out more towers.
Yes.
So it's going to be fine.
Yes.
It's okay.
It's okay.
So they have to make some cuts in their lifestyle.
Work
extra hours.
Like all the time. It seems like that he just works 24 hours a day, like after that happens.
Yeah, he's working most of every day.
Yes.
And basically coming home to eat and sleep.
And she has to sleep more.
Oh, right.
Because there's only so much service to go around or something like that.
Yeah. At first it was to reduce load on the servers.
That's great.
To reduce load on the servers. Yeah.
You don't want a brain brown out.
Right. So everybody just sleeps an extra couple hours a day if you have this implant.
Yes.
It's fine. It's, it kind of sucks, but it seems to beat the alternative. Right. But then, let's see, what was the next thing that happened?
They basically turned the tier that they were into the low tier. Not
they were going to go
tier.
They were going to go on their trip.
And they went outside of...
And they went outside the service area.
And then she switched off.
Yeah. And the rep is like, oh, yeah, that's because the towers out there are for a higher tier of service that you're not on.
Yeah. And the higher tier is like $1,000 a month.
Yeah, I think it was $500 more a month.
Yeah.
On top of the $300 they were already paying.
Yes.
Right. To get, whatever the plus service, or whatever they called it. Rivermind Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
Because one of the dark comedy bits in that is just kind of the rolling names for the tiers of service that are just meaningless. Like you've got Plus, and then, I don't know, Premium, and then whatever the final one was. It's all just, stuff that is very familiar to us as 21st century humans. Incomprehensible tiers of service that require more money.
And in shitification, which without actually calling it in shitification.
Yeah. Because the next big thing that happens is when she starts doing advertisements.
She starts doing the advertisements because at the lower tier you have ads. They added ads for something that they are paying good money for. And she starts doing ads based on the context of whatever conversation she was having at the time.
Right, but in a very
sinister way?
Yeah, not really. Like it is related to what you're talking about, but it's not anything that you would ever say naturally.
Yeah.
Right. It's only loosely context-based, so it is very algorithmic.
Yes.
Again, something we're all very familiar with. The algorithms, like when she's talking to the student, the little kid's having problems at home, and she just blanks out and then recommends some kind of Christian counseling service.
Yes, which is totally something that would fucking happen.
Yeah. And unsurprisingly, she gets in some trouble for that.
Yeah, and it's just and there were some really dramatic callbacks. The poor kid who was ashamed of her like hand-me-downs, and then she basically walks by her in the hallway, and she's like, "Get your new shoes," and it's just it's this going back and forth between the whole comedy and horror, like just on a razor's edge, going back and forth tonally. And
still sticking very much to the intrinsic inhumanity of not just advertising, but the way that we are algorithmically served things.
Yes.
Not at all in our best interest. In any way, just to push the product, just to make money.
Go watch TV. You can go watch Netflix or something. You can go watch Netflix. You can, if you want to. You want to watch YouTube on the Roku. You can do that. Anyway, I need my daughter to go get ads fed to her on YouTube. Like, Dad needs to play a video game for a moment. But yes. So what? I'm sorry. What were you saying about the algorithm just being slow dripped into the brain?
Yeah, and just the inhumanity of it, because it doesn't have any connection to what people need or how people live their lives. It's just a computer program
making the person like serve the algorithm.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's different if you're like if I play a video game and I'm like, I really like this video game, I'm gonna tell Brent about it. I'm gonna tell Rick about it, or Jess, or whoever, or I like this game, maybe I'll stream it. And that's the kind of like normal way people interact and try to maybe, hey, I like this, would you like to play this game, like fill in a blank here.
Normal word of mouth stuff. And that's been replaced with just force feeding of ads.
You get possessed by the algorithm momentarily, and
because crucially, she has no memory of saying anything.
Yeah.
Like, she basically just blanks out for a few seconds while she does an ad break in her own life.
She has a loss of mental autonomy, which is hellish.
And which leads to some interesting things that they don't really address in the episode, but I think leave possibly implicit, because like that company rep that they talk to, it's like, to what extent is she a real human being? Or is she just a puppet?
Yeah. Like,
being operated by the machine to sell the service.
Like, is she still her? I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. I started to wonder that by the end. I'm like, is this even a real person? Or is she just completely mind controlled? Effectively by this system to push the higher tier service, and to just have this really kind of pat fake empathy. I don't know. It was all very inhuman. But at the same time, what's the difference between that and just doing that because it's your job?
Yeah, like every time they interacted with the rep, she can hide behind, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
And she's
also this is a really good service. I'm that kind of like, I'm helping you, I'm doing something good for you by offering you. And and they're like, we can't afford that. And she's just like, oh, I understand. But if you don't, then you'll have to keep doing ads.
you're gonna lose your job because the people who trust you to educate their children can no longer trust you around their children.
Yeah, because you're speaking uncontrollably.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
literally don't know what you're saying to
yeah.
other people's children.
Some sort of horrible algorithm, like techno Tourette's, like just some horrible, she has like she's been technologically cursed. Like
Yeah,
it's horrible. Like it, and
like she's possessed. And
yeah,
periodically the demon speaks through her, but the demon is just this horrible thing that's trying to make you buy something.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna go level up because I
Okay,
need to do that. All right,
me too.
I have not played this in a minute, and I've forgotten how to play. I I really liked the episode.
Yeah,
I I feel like that it had a coherent this like sci-fi in that they have added this technology and these are the implications and this is how it would be rolled out based on the shitty things that happen to you on a regular basis.
and crucially, and again, this is very much a Charlie Booker kind of thing, based on the service you're using to watch the episode.
Yes, his anti-Netflix propaganda while being on propaganda, like being
Yeah,
by being
that whole
propagated on Netflix.
the price of your old service is going up, and your service is getting worse.
Yes.
And features that you once had, you don't have anymore. Now there are ad breaks, right? It's very much that. It's something we can all relate to
Yeah.
because we live it.
Yeah, because I mean, streaming services used to be better.
Yeah,
I mean, there was absolutely. I mean, there was a point in time. I mean, they only started talking about ads when they had to like actually show a return on those investments to their shareholders. I mean, that's and on any given streaming service.
yeah, and they all started doing it.
Yeah.
And then there's a higher tier you can get now
Yeah.
that has the features that your old regular tier used to have. It's exactly that, only it's just been transplanted to a life-saving medical device.
Yes.
But leaves us with the thought of, well, isn't that how it would go?
Yeah. This is it.
Like if they could do that, they would, wouldn't they?
They would totally. They
Would.
Yeah, and also this is a pretty accurate representation of what healthcare in America already is.
Yeah, it's pay to have a normal life, pay to live, pay to have a normal life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any. Or what I should say this: I am blessed with health insurance, and I feel bad mentioning that I have good health insurance because I know way too many people personally that have shit health insurance, or they don't have it at all. And
Yeah.
that's monstrous. And that is also America.
Best healthcare in the world.
Best healthcare in the world. And on that note, I need to walk away from my computer for just a moment.
I'm going to browbeat my zombies into higher productivity.
That's a good plan. I'll be right back.
You guys can handle her. Go get her.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Well, I'm pretty sure my youngest is not going to recommend me for any parenting awards anytime soon. She's pretty pissed.
Yeah.
I've told them to get on the YouTube on the Roku, and she is so utterly pissed because her tablet isn't working. She's just so I've told my oldest, y'all watch YouTube for the next, I don't know, hour or so. Like, just go. Dad's playing video games.
Busy.
It's like, Dad doesn't play video games very often with friends.
Yeah, so give me this.
So come on.
Let me have this.
Come on. I got you to school today. I fed you a snack when you got off the bus. I put your clothes up today.
What more do you want?
I went to an award show today, and I'm going to get them up and send them to school again tomorrow. We're probably going to watch some cat videos tonight. But right now, I'm a rat man hanging out with a skull man. I don't know. Erasing vaccine data or something. I don't know.
Something. Whatever we're doing, there's money in it for me, so.
Yes.
It's going to make my line go up.
That's the only thing that matters. Much like the faceless corporate entity in Common People.
That's right.
I did really like the episode, even though it was horribly depressing.
Yeah, it was maybe one of the more depressing episodes.
Yeah, particularly the ending.
Yeah.
And the oh god, what was it called? Was it called like Dumb Dummies? What website was what?
Dumb Dummies. Yeah.
The Dumb Dummies. Yeah.
Yeah, Dumb Dummies.
So totally not Twitch. It is not Twitch.
No, not Twitch.
No, it's a more horrible version of Twitch.
Yeah, basically where people pay real money for someone who's streaming to do horrible and degrading things to themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people streaming in a pool in their bikini is several steps up from
Yes.
Dumb Dummies.
Yeah. Because what people on Dumb Dummies really want to see is you drink your own piss.
Oh god.
They're really into that.
They're really into that.
And another one of this like, yeah, dehumanizing technology things.
Yeah, that. Which reminds me of, and I don't know if this is still going on, but the whole like, was it on? I think it was on TikTok that there used to be the NPC people where that you stream on TikTok or whatever, and people tell you to say things like the ice cream yum yum lady.
Yeah. I don't know if that's still a thing. Probably.
I mean, she was
probably is.
I was aware of at least one person that was able to pay their bills from ice cream yum yum, so good for her.
Yeah, I mean, right. It's a hellscape. What are you gonna do?
I mean, hey.
It's a wide awake nightmare.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
It's a degrading and dehumanizing. Yeah. So are a lot of things. Retail's degrading and dehumanizing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dumb Dummy is just kind of that taken to to an extreme.
I mean, or just extrapolate it out.
Or, yeah, or just prognosticating.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
Extreme, but perhaps logical.
I mean, I don't remember, like, what was it, bum fights? Wasn't that like a thing?
Yeah, bum fights.
Was that like just a website where they would or I don't know, I guess, is this...
They were videos that you had to order. I think you'd order them from a website, but...
This is more like dark
pre-streaming.
Or dark, or the maybe the darkish, earlier days of the internet before the darkness was streamlined in social media.
Yeah, before everything was just some degree of bum fights.
I'm gonna get the evil corporation in on bum fights. What's a more evil version of bum fight?
Like
pediatric cancer fights.
Yeah, like
let's just go dark.
It's like Deathmatch Island, and the prize you get is like your child's cancer treatment paid for.
Oh God, that's gonna be
like battle royale.
And
whoever's left alive, their child will live.
Oh God, don't give Mr. Beast any ideas.
You Mr. Beast vendor.
Oh God, I did make a Mr. Beast character.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think I named him Mr. I think I named him, what is it? I think I named him Mr. Beastly. He's in here. Yeah, Mr. Beastly. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a mastermind guy, because most of my villains are masterminds. He's a gang mastermind.
Okay.
I'm gonna name all his minions after the Clarence Boddicker gang.
Oh yeah.
His first minion is Bobby. All right, I gotta go level. And one day, Bobby is gonna go flying, and I'm setting that joke up well in advance.
Right.
All right, where? Oh, he's over here in the arena. The arena district where we're going to set up the bum fights. The pediatric oncology arena. I really should probably put some stuff in these enhancements. I would probably be a better functioning character. So I'm gonna take a moment to put some stuff in some things. Away I go. Do I have any money with this character? Yes, I do. That's good. Where do I purchase things? Quartermaster. That's a place where I buy things.
Hey.
All right, I'm going to put some stuff in some holes. Do you just want to do, like, well, first off, do you have anything else you want to say about common people, or is that enough depression for one day?
I mean, I guess that's probably enough.
It is, but it is a really good episode, I do think. But, you know.
Yeah, it was a good one to start the season with, I think.
Yeah, it's a strong outing. I guess there is something else that I want to say. I think that it's a relationships are hard episode. Like that was something I wanted to mention for the striking vipers. There's a type of episode in Black Mirror that, like, at least to me, I summarize them as relationships are hard. Like dating, and I kind of feel like it comes from like, I'm glad that I'm married now because I would hate to try to find a mate on an app. I feel like it maybe stems from that. Like that technology is not going to make it easier to find who you want to fall in love with. It's actually going to make it kind of hellish.
Right. Yeah, it's not going to solve a deeply personal sort of problem that people have struggled with for millennia.
Yeah. It's just going to make it more complicated and weird.
Telephone. Yeah.
So I feel like that there are so many episodes where you could kind of boil it down as relationships are hard with technology, dude. Like that.
And that they're not necessarily making things better.
Yeah. So that and what is it? The entire history of us. Like that's another one where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the main one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah. How technology was not a help.
Yeah, even though it validated. But it just kind of it validated his own obsession.
Right.
So
isn't that kind of what technology is geared for now?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So
it's basically to be Lieutenant Broccoli in your own personal holodeck program.
Your own personal hell.
For all of eternity, where everybody fawns over you and tells you how great you are. Eternal validation.
I am trying to figure out how to dress my character right now. Like, I am having a heck of a time. Enhancements, manage my enhancements. I replace you. I'm gonna put you in there. There we go. I'm gonna put you in there. Okay. I need a few more and I think I'll be ready. And run speed. And a jump. I need another damage. There we go. Oh. Jump. Blah. Blah. And now I have stuff in my things. There we go. All right. I am ready when you are. Are we gonna rob a bank?
We're robbing a bank.
Oh shit. Robbing a bank. All right. You could select mission.
Oh, I thought I did.
You did not.
Oops.
All right, I'm going. I'm ready.
Getting on the sub.
All right.
Taking a sub ride.
Uh-oh. You're gonna get shot, bro. I will be there momentarily. Oh, I guess, like, for whenever we do this again in the future, you want to just watch the next episode, or have you already?
No, I haven't yet, because I figured
Okay,
I
all
figured
right.
that would be the plan.
All right. Well, let's do that. Let's watch the next episode. Whatever it is. It's like Betty Noir or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know nothing about it. Like,
Yeah, me either. I'm going to try to go into them as blind as possible.
okay, that's okay. I will attempt to do the same. All right, where are you at? Oh,
I'm
there
not too
you
far
are.
from the start.
Okay, I just happened to be looking in the wrong direction. I had two directions I could have chosen. I chose the wrong one.
Yeah, it happens.
All right.
Just let my zombies puke on cop cars.
All right, G.I. Joe is here.
Uh-oh. Get them.
Speaking of medical ailments, are you aware that 1 in 25 American governors have podcast dementia?
I kind of was. not in quite so certain terms, but you say it out loud, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yes.
Gotta have a podcast.
Gotta have a podcast.
You're not a contender unless you got a fucking podcast.
Yes. I mean, basically, what we do on this stream is very akin to podcasting. It's just we happen to be like playing a video game whilst doing it. So I'm going to call this Podcast Plus, and I'm going to charge people more for that Podcast Plus experience.
There you go.
Is there really child? Is there a child at my door? The same child. What do you need? You want bread? After all that, I gave you entertainment. You want bread too? Yeah? Okay, I'll give you bread. Here you go. You know I am just messing with you. Or do you not? You don't? Okay, well, I'm sorry. You can, look, hey, if you want a piece of bread, just grab the bread and bring it to me, okay? Okay. All right. Mental note, 6-year-olds don't know sarcasm as well.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Either that or... I don't know. All right, so I'm doing the scratching of the PPD's finest, and about a week ago, Jess notified me that the governor of our state has a podcast, and she thought the exact same thing that I thought of when she told me that Andy Beshear has a podcast. And I texted Brent, and you immediately thought the same exact thing. And I actually texted Rick, and Rick thought the exact same thing.
Yeah. Presidential podcast.
So our governor is going to try to run for president. And
yes,
I want to be nice. I actually want to be nice because there is a possibility that this individual, like, the shit talking could get back to him, and I don't want state police at my door. I don't want the Kentucky State Police showing him at door and saying, "Quit being mean to Andy," because everybody in the state loves him, and I'm gonna be honest, I really like him too, but if the Democratic presidential primary was held today, I doubt I would be voting for Andy Beshear in that primary. I'm just going to say that based on the other people who I am hoping that will run for president. And I'm willing to bet that I am not alone in that. So I don't know if you're really holding out for Pete Buttigieg, or gruesome Gavin Newsom. So I don't know.
It's my pick for president to shepherd us into the end times.
Gavin Newsom. and his vice president, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that we reach across the aisle in the end times.
We can get the first Smiler Beast joint administration.
Oh, God.
That's bipartisanship.
That is bipartisanship. So and please stop me at any point in time if you think something contrary to what I'm throwing out there, because I legitimately want to know what you think about the podcast, and what, I want to do an exercise in political Monday morning quarterbacking, and what would be the good thing for our very popular governor to do and aim for in the mediocre state of Kentucky. I would like to know what you think. I have an idea. I can go first if you want me to go first.
Oh, like what I think he should do?
Yeah, should he run for president? Does he have a shot? Is there maybe some other offices maybe closer to home that he has a better shot of getting into? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Are there any vacancies at the national political level in say the upper house of the legislature coming open because a certain ghoul no longer has the fortitude, possibly the bodily fortitude, to do the job anymore?
While Mitch McConnell is being poured into his phylactery. Or I don't know. I don't know.
Be found. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Andy Barr finally found his phylactery and he's stepping down. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And this
could be either one. He might be turning into a demi-lich, or then he'll just be like a skull on top of a pile of treasure, just waiting for adventurers to come.
This is a D&D phylactery, not a Harry Potter phylactery. We do not condone transphobia here at the Shady Rogues.
That's right.
Oh, God. Now I'm just envisioning, if this does get, if anybody on Andy Beshear's team does hear this, they're just going to be completely confused. They've turned it off.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What are these nerds talking about?
Does this have to do about Riz and yeeting? Oh, God. On his podcast, his kids teach him young person words. They do.
Oh, they do? Oh, okay.
They do, which is actually one of the... They kind of, I guess, try to end it on a fun note, and his son told him about Skippity, or I thought it was Skibbity. But that might be, I thought, related to the toilet, Skibbity toilet.
Right.
Maybe I was just wrong. I do know what Riz is, though.
Yeah.
My kids tell me I'm full of Riz.
My mom says I have Riz.
Mr. Governor, you have the riz to be a senator, which, you know, that's not bad.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. I'm not going to be senator. Like, that's not happening at all. I'm sorry. But there is, I look at it like, first off, don't exit. Second off, Mitch McConnell has been in the Senate. His reign has spanned the duration of my 44 years of life.
Yep.
My entire life, Mitch McConnell has been in the Senate. And Mitch McConnell's fingerprints are on every bad piece of legislation for the last, 50 years.
Yep, I have voted against him every single time.
As have
I've been
I.
eligible to vote.
Yes.
To no avail.
Yes. He has been lodged in Kentucky politics for our entire lives. And now the mortal coil is forcing him to step down. And this is like the best shot for actually putting a non-monstrous human in that seat.
Yeah.
I think that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to actually put a halfway decent person in there. And I do think Andy Beshear is a decent person. I don't think he's a monster person.
Yeah.
I think he's fine. I actually think he comes off as honest and authentic.
Mm.
And I think that is an incredible. I think it's incredibly rare in politics. He comes off as a good guy.
He seems like a normal person.
He seems like a normal human being.
Like he's normal, reasonably adjusted.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's not bad.
He's not bad.
By modern standards, yeah.
Yeah. Based on the first episode, he's coming off as incredibly folksy and centrist. But my criticisms can come later. Right now, I want to nudge, not punch. Right now, because the most popular elected official in Kentucky politics right now is Andy Beshear.
Yeah.
But that popularity, although it does bleed out beyond the borders of Kentucky, that is going to evaporate on a debate stage versus Medicare for all.
Yeah.
That is going to, being the reincarnated Joe Biden and talking about NATO and national security, which he does in that first episode. When it came off as I don't want to say fake, but it's of all the shit going on, you're going to talk about the whiskey leak.
Yeah, it's one of those things that really reminds me of if you were a Roman emperor, then you really needed to start a war with somebody to kind of prove your military credentials, to prove to people that you were going to lead the country to victory. the empire to victory.
You got to do the emperor. You got to do the empire's business. You actually do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That if you're going to be president, you have to be ready to send soldiers into battle. And talking about national security, and honestly, he did it in a good way, because he kind of coached it in Pete Hegseth messed up, and he needs to own it. And he gave him an opportunity to tell his Tupac Shakur story, which is actually a good story. Because for whoever the hell is listening to this, first off, I'm sorry. Second off, during COVID, somebody named Tupac Shakur applied for unemployment benefits in the state of Kentucky, and Andy Beshear made a mistake in calling this person out, who happened to be a real person, because Andy Beshear assumed that there was no Tupac Shakur living within the borders of Kentucky.
Yeah.
And he made an assumption, and he made an ass of himself, but he apologized during a time when politicians at the national level, who are Republicans, don't apologize. They double down, they triple down, they heckle, they instigate and escalate fights, and no backing down, regardless of how absurd it is. See any number of interactions that Donald Trump has had with the press and fellow humans.
Yeah, never admit that you were wrong.
Yeah, and I mean the very the photoshopped tattoos on the one dude's hand. I don't know if you've heard about this.
Oh yeah, the ones that they're not at all photos.
Yes, this proves he's Trendawagwa, or whatever the hell the gang is. Trendawagwa? I'm butchering that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Anyway, the important thing is that the president is lying and/or is senile.
Right. It's like some grandpa on Facebook.
Yes.
Like it's something obviously photoshopped, and being like, I don't know, it looks real to me.
Yes. So Andy Beshear taking an opportunity to complain about national security and the tariffs and the breaking of the weakening of alliances in Europe, and complaining about NATO, it really made me think, is he running for president, or is he running to be AOC's VP? Like no shit, he's trying to be Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Because we need a white moderate to make the other Democrat white moderates not nervous around a person of color.
Yeah.
So, or voting for a person of color.
It's you need a white person there to vouch for them.
Yes.
I mean, that's basically it. Gotta have a white person there to be like, no, they're all right.
Or, he can be in the Senate, which, instead of casting the vote as VP to break a tie, you can actually, craft some legislation and vote all the time in the Senate. I mean, I'm just saying.
Wield, 1/50th of the considerable power of the U.S. Senate. Which ain't too bad.
Yeah. I mean,
ain't too bad.
And try again later. Because it's not like we haven't had senators go on to be president, before.
Yeah.
All right, we got Longbow on our booty.
No.
A considerable number of them, too.
Alright. Turn around, zombies.
Okay, this is the last piece of bread. I'm cutting you off. This is the last piece of bread, but you're going to have to answer a question. Okay, let's say I can't talk to you about politics, can I? Do you know what politics, you know what that is? Have I explained to you what politics are? I haven't. I'm definitely not winning any awards. I did a better job with your sister teaching about politics. I did. I'm pretty sure your sister has an opinion about certain people. Here you go. I'll teach you about tariffs some other time. Okay, that's the last piece of bread. No shit, my oldest mentioned the tariffs. Like, unprompted. Like,
It's pretty good.
because I said something like, you know, stuff is going to get more expensive. And she was like, because of the tariffs? And I'm like, you get it. Like,
This child understands.
this 11-year-old child understands.
Well, you're gonna have to break it to her that this Christmas she's only gonna get 2 dolls instead of 30.
Oh God.
In one of those out of touch rich people moments. Did you ever watch Arrested Development?
Yes, but I haven't watched.
Okay, because it comes up all the time. The Lucille Bluth thing about the banana. It's one banana.
Yeah.
How much could it cost? $10?
Yeah, a callback. I'm sure it's a callback to various Republican presidential candidates who don't know how much things cost.
Yeah.
Like, I know Mitt Romney had some problems. It's probably a callback to like one of the Bushes.
Yeah. Or like Trump not understanding, like thinking you have to show an ID to buy groceries.
I haven't actually heard that one.
Yeah, that one's from a while back. I think that might have been during the election, where he seemed to think that you have to show your ID to buy groceries.
You're going to have to be more specific which election he has been running for president for
Forever.
for a minute.
Yeah, this most recent one.
Okay.
I don't even remember I don't know if it was about like voter ID or some shit. But he seemed to think that you have to show an ID to buy groceries.
Good times. Are you over the legal age to buy those eggs? Maybe, because you have to have a loan to get a dozen eggs now.
Yeah, they'll be controlled before long.
Oh God! And I say that because people are, oh God, the buy now pay later, like for food, that is becoming more and more of a thing.
Oh yeah.
Which, oh God.
Which, that's all fine.
That's fine. No, there's no problems there. I think we're done in this area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's scram.
Okay. But on the more important topic of Andy Beshear's podcast, so I am not crazy thinking that he should run for the Senate.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's doable.
That he could transfer the goodwill and popularity into a run at the Senate, and easily beat Andy Barr, the lesser Andy.
Yeah, I think it's entirely possible.
And I would even say likely.
I don't know if I would go that far, but I'm generally pessimistic.
I get
about
that.
politics in the state,
but
I think you'd have a better chance
on name recognition alone.
Yeah. As a popular governor, I think there's a shot.
I don't know if you were aware that the 5th place swimming champion, I believe her name is Riley Gaines, the transphobic correspondent for Fox News, I believe, who I didn't realize was from Kentucky.
Oh.
I actually didn't realize that. She has endorsed Andy Barr for the pick. Daniel Cameron did not get the endorsement. I don't think he's going to make it. And there's some third guy that went on Don Jr.'s podcast.
Okay. Some third guy.
Yes. So some third guy that I don't know who that is. So I
the
just
third
feel
guy
like,
in the 3 tenors, no one can remember his name. Yeah.
Like based on like goodwill and like Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul are breaking with Trump on tariffs.
Yeah.
And those tariffs are only going to get less and less popular. And like there is all kinds of shit that's going to go sideways. Because I mean, and I actually want to say that like in the podcast, he took an opportunity to talk about how like a ridiculously high amount of Kentucky kids are on Medicaid, and how that is going to that you know how that is going to affect real Kentucky lives. And he had his friend from what is it, Murray and Murray State, in Western Kentucky, like some guy named John McConnell, I think. And at first, when I heard the last name McConnell, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Is this somehow like Mitch McConnell's like, you know, stepson or something like that?" But it just happens to be, you know,
no relation.
The same, just happens to be the same last name. I thought that was a real stab at bipartisanship. Amy McGrath style. I used to be a Republican, and I'm married to a Republican now. Like I thought it was like, well, I'm friends with Mitch McConnell's first cousin, or that's what I thought. But it turns out that, you know, he's friends with this person, and that this person has a child with autism who gets Medicaid benefits because he has they have special needs. I can't remember the pronouns, but anyway. And how, you know, these are the services that this person's child gets. And I thought that was actually really good to use that opportunity to talk about something that is going to really affect people in Kentucky, children in Kentucky, and how you can use that for, you know, as a way to show that the political party that is always talking about the children, in fact does not give a fuck about kids.
Yeah.
So that's I thought that was actually a good move in the podcast.
Yeah.
And yeah, they talked about the Department of Education. I mean, that's another thing. So I mean, there are so many avenues that this particular Republican seat is going to be harder for a Republican to win. Like this Senate seat is going to be harder for someone attached to Trump.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure things are not going to get better, because it's this bad 105 days in.
Right. Well, the golden age is going to kick in any day now.
The fever is going to break. I'm sure.
Because Republicans are always 100% accurate in their predictions for the future.
Yes, that golden age.
The Iraqis will greet us as liberators.
Oh, God. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, God. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Oh, that was a prediction. That was more like they're reading the now.
So we'll have to resort to our post-apocalyptic dystopian lifestyle.
When we can't sell our bourbon. I will say that I see a clearer path for Andy Beshear getting that Senate seat than getting into the White House.
Yeah.
I mean, and then
we win here. Looks like
we got the captain of police coming to whoop our arse.
We're just safe here.
And it's an opportunity to raise the profile of whoever the lieutenant governor is. I can't think of her name, but she used to be a teacher.
Right.
And
yeah.
And basically, like Democrats really suck at passing the baton. At least Republicans, like, they at least like do it by combat. Like when somebody retires, the Sith go to war with each other, and then whoever, it is survival of the political fittest when it comes to Republicans. Like
it's never anybody's turn.
Yeah, it is not someone's turn. It is.
They're not turn takers. Yeah.
No, they don't. They're just takers. And Democrats, they're just too. There's no vision. There's no vision because it's just treading water.
Yeah.
And this is a real opportunity for, and I don't even know if he has to step down. I don't know if he can be governor and run for the Senate. And even if it's not, just fucking do it. Who gives a shit? We're in a post-law world.
Yeah, nothing matters anymore.
Nothing matters anymore. Like, we're like, screw decorum. Just do it. Wield power.
The system's been exposed as a fraud.
Yeah. So, but anyway, he goes on a tour of Kentucky, and the lieutenant governor gets to go, also, or, she becomes the governor. And then, boom, she's running for governor.
Yeah.
And then whoever is replacing Andy Barr in that one district, because he's not going to be able to run for Senate and his seat in the whatever district, I'm assuming.
Right.
Unless the carve out for didn't Rand Paul get a carve out? He didn't have to relinquish his seat. Oh shit, I wonder if they all get the benefit for that carve out because he didn't have to relinquish his seat to run for president.
Yeah.
But they're two different parties and they're two different rules because because Kentucky's a caucus for the Republicans and just an election like a regular, I don't know, whatever non-caucused primary. Oh God. Andy Beshear, can you leave a comment below and clear this up? I do have some questions, but I do think my theory for change is sound.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Yes. The Shady Rogues are subscribed to the podcast. It's the only channel that the Shady Rogues.
Yeah, he's got to do follow for follow. Come on.
Yeah, you got to follow back. Leave a comment. I have left some comments. If they disappear, I'm going to take this as an attack on my free speech. All right. I'm totally clipping that, and I'm going to make a viewing list similar to the Ready Player One. Is going to be a weekly segment where I talk about whatever episode of the Andy Beshear podcast. No joke, and I can't wait to get to my favorite senator, Amy Klobuchar. This week is Chris Coons.
Oh, okay.
The actual avatar of the remaining avatar of Joe Biden in the Senate.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I can't leave a comment, see if they can't get Bernie on there. Get AOC.
Oh, there you go.
Broker a deal if he's gonna be VP. Oh God. All right. That's enough of that. What do you want to talk about now?
Ah, shit.
Unless you just want to keep talking about the Andy Beshear podcast, we can keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I'm cool with whatever.
Nobody wants to hear more about the Andy Beshear podcast.
Let's do a deep dive.
I am prepared. I took fucking notes. I mean, I will say something else that he did. He did a bait and switch, and I think I'm using the term right. He was like, "Now we're going to talk about sports," and I was like, "Oh shit, we're going to talk about Kentucky basketball," which I am very anti-Kentucky when it comes to like sports. I don't give no shits about sports balls. And he had
I don't.
he had another person from that Morgan and Morgan law firm who represents student athletes in what is it called? Name, image, likeness.
Huh.
Because Beshear, and I wasn't aware of this, did some kind of crafting of legislation to where student athletes in like high school and college can actually get paid in like licensing deals.
Oh, okay.
So actually making money off of, their merch like schools do.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a problem with this, because I think that if everybody is going to be a brand, they should be able to get paid for some portion of their labor.
Right. If they're providing value to somebody else, they should get a fair cut.
Yeah.
Because people make money off of them.
So yeah, and that's a bad look.
So why don't they get to have any? It's bullshit.
There's a bad there's a bad history of that in Kentucky, of not paying stuff, not paying people for the labor they create, particularly of a particular pigmentation.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're doing better with that. And honestly, I was like, I felt, there's a badge over here. The Kings Row badge is right where the rat is. Because I do not care about sports, but I do care about the labor aspect of sports, like, and like safety, like, I guess brain injuries in football and so forth. That is something that I do care about. because
it's fundamentally a workplace safety thing.
Yes, yeah. And I think that's a good angle to expose people who normally would not click on a podcast pertaining to that.
Yeah.
And Sam Cedar went on Tim Pool's podcast to just get into a discussion about Social Security. Because he has very much special interest Social Security.
Yeah.
And he did a clickbait title, cutting that portion and actually, just talking about Social Security, which I thought was brilliant. Because he wants to educate people on Social Security. So bringing up sports, and people are going to think, oh, he's going to talk about UK sports ball, but he's like, no, it was an opportunity for him to showcase, an accomplishment as governor.
Yeah.
And, dare I say, move some Kentuckians to the left. Dare.
I mean, that'd be nice.
Yes. So.
I don't know how much to count on it, but
still, yeah.
But,
or
an attempt, at least.
Or reframing maybe some preconceived notions.
Yeah.
Because there's idea that you play sports, you shouldn't get paid. Well, who the fuck says that?
Right. I feel like it's something that's pretty broadly popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any numbers on it, but I just kind of feel it appeals to a basic sense of fairness.
It's like, hey, there's a lot of work involved with taking care of your body, and if you're talented, look, if you can sing like really good, you can get paid for singing. You can do that. That is a thing. That's a thing. What you can do. And if you can get, paid for, throwing a sports ball really far and being really good at it, then you should get paid for that too, regardless of, I don't know what level. If the institutions that you're playing for are making like ridiculous amounts of money on you,
making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
Basically off your work.
Yeah.
And then turning around and saying, oh, well, you can't get paid any. It would be bad if you got paid.
Yeah.
Like it's some kind of moral principle.
What would it do to the love of sports ball?
They're just amateur athletes. Never mind if there's billions of dollars in college sports.
Yeah.
Never mind that. They're just amateurs. They're just plucky amateurs. Farting around on the field or the court.
Yeah. All right. I think we're done here.
Looks like it.
All right. I'm exiting.
We'll blow up this cop car for fun.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Oh. Deader doesn't wikey. Deader. God.
They'll still workshop the names.
Like
that slaves too on the nose. I need something a little more corporate sounding.
Well, you could break it down into the various forms of debt, like student loan, medical debt,
medical debt, yeah,
and then food debt,
yeah,
credit card debt. And I'm gonna go level. Here we go. Oh god, they shooting this big rat. have a random thing to talk about if you don't have any random things to talk about.
I'm sure I do, but I can't think of any of them right now, so.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's go.
Okay. What is it? Oh God, I have a couple of like dear God why school stories.
Oh.
Which
Always
that's always fun. So, and I completely acknowledge that I may be overreacting on this. I might be, but I'm going to mention it anyway. There was some sort of free online game, some free game that my oldest was playing, and she mentioned like she it was fun, which, you know, hey, that's a good thing, and it's some sort of like educational game, and she was talking about how it was maybe kind of competitive. I'm going to go put some stuff in this and I'll keep going with it. But it was some sort of like competitive game, like maybe the entire class was kind of playing it or whatever. And she was like, we snuck into the enemy base and we hacked their computers and we stole their crypto. And I was like, you did what? And
it's like, huh?
And basically the game had crypto in it, and that kind of pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because I do not condone, I want to say, like, my knee-jerk reaction is to say, like, I don't believe in crypto, but it is a thing. But I do not, Nick and Jess of the Shady Rogues do not condone or endorse crypto unless it's Shady coin or D's coin. I can't remember what came up last time, but anyway, Goblin coin. It was Goblin coin.
Goblin coin.
Goblin coin is the only safe crypto coin. The only safe, speculative, fictional asset. But I just had a real...
You can trust,
yeah, I had a real problem with having that in there. Like...
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a toe in the water. That's a way to introduce a concept of crypto.
Yeah.
And that just... It really just kind of... It really went all over me.
Yeah.
So, and maybe I'm dumb, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I perked up. And also it's a free game, so I don't know where this free game is coming from. Like, she told me about it, we looked it up, and it's just some big tech jibber jabber that that our school benefits from, ? I don't know.
Yeah, big question mark.
Yeah. Because if it's free, you're the product.
Yeah, then then you are what is being sold.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is some sort of something's being mined. I don't know. So it just really, I found it irksome.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing? There was something else. Oh God. So we had like an open house. It was my youngest's school. And we go there, and they have these auctions where you can bid on your students' art that they made. And what I'll let you talk, but let me finish.
No, it's I'm just humming. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's the same noise you made about the desk rent, and this is why I'm bringing it up. But we're there, and they have, you know, a class's art up, and there's my daughter's self-portrait. And then over to the side, you can put bids on your child's art in order to help support the school.
Oh.
And I just feel that am I wrong in feeling that is the most fucked up dystopian shit that I have ever heard? And I may clip this and say, and at Andy Beshear, that this is messed up, and this is under your watch, sir. I want to know why are we bidding on our kids' art in order to bake sale support our schools? I want to know. I'm talking to the camera. I really want to know. I'm going to clip this. Okay, thanks. Bye. Like, no joke, I'm clipping this shit. Anyway.
Yeah, it just seems really grim.
It really, okay, so what is your take other than grim?
Yeah, I mean, first off, there's the whole even if it's for, well, I was going to say even if it's for quote unquote a good cause, but it's like it's something that seems unnecessary. But like it shouldn't be.
Like we could just tax people.
Right. Let's, like, what about that? But also the whole, it's kind of like it's assigning a worth to a child's art.
Ooh,
like
that's
if you make something, yeah, and it doesn't get as many bids, and it's like, well, is it just shitty? And yeah, probably, you know, a child made it, so it's probably, you know, not going to blow anybody's mind. But that's not like that's not like really a thing that you tell children.
Like,
but I feel like putting a dollar amount like really makes that plain. That it's like, you're already shit. Nobody wanted to bid on it.
Cindy's
right?
self-portrait is much better because she got a $5 for it.
Yeah, which is pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just the parents that can afford to pay for their kids' art.
Well, yes, and that's the other thing. Yeah.
So
it's almost like, yeah.
So yeah,
yeah. If you've got some family money, then they can assign more value to your art than other people's art.
Okay, so any
you know, and then this, I don't know, this whole like it's a product from market.
Yeah, instead of my daughter made this.
Yeah.
And you would say that there's a value to that, but it's not monetary. It's emotional value. It's sentimental.
Yeah, it's an ephemeral value. Yeah.
It's something that you can't quantify in US dollars.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Or and shouldn't.
Or maybe this is an opportunity for more, we have student athletes. Maybe we can get some student artists and we can really tap into this.
Yeah.
Get on it, Andy. Oh God.
You can get a cut.
Yep. Now I'm being mean to Andy.
No.
I don't know if we're definitely not on a first name basis. Governor, I'm sorry. Don't send the state police.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway, what are we fucking doing now?
I'm messing with enhancements.
You're messing with enhancements. I've messed with enhancements. I'm ready to go. When you're ready, of course. I'm trying to wait patiently.
I'm pretty ready.
What else?
Kidnap, no. Council, yeah.
We can do our part to fight fascism.
Which doesn't really seem on brand for us, but
for
these characters.
Yeah. Get the bank
But
gun.
look,
Ooh. We
the
cannot
bank.
let that fall into the wrong hands.
We need it. We don't need it because we don't need anything. We want it.
Oh, I finally got like a self heal, so I'm happy about that. Oh, you got a death knight.
Yeah, I've got a chunky guy.
There we go.
The debt collector.
There you go.
I mean, he still owes money, but it's just,
Yeah.
He's earned enough points. He earned enough points as a debt slave to get a more prestigious job.
He's the next tier.
He's paid off the most of his debt.
Yeah.
Well, the interest on his debt, I should say.
Yes.
The debt itself ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I've engineered it that way.
What are you talking about? This is gravity.
It's ordained by God.
All right, the random thing that I wanted to bring up. How many of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies have you seen?
Oh boy. Let me think for a second.
Have you seen The Next Generation?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so happy. I am so happy.
I've actually seen it twice. The first time was a long time ago, but I've seen it more recently than that.
Okay. I cannot express. I really liked the movie.
Yeah, it's very crazy.
But, I ended up really liking it.
Robot with his fucking robot leg.
Yes.
Your robot leg.
Yes. I watched it. I think I watched it like maybe the week that you were feeling under the weather and we didn't game. And I was like, I've got to note this because as a whole, I don't really care for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
Okay.
Like I will say I don't like the first one. I like kind of the second one. Like I do appreciate that the second one is, zany and there are things I like about it.
Yeah, I really love the second one.
Okay.
I like it more than the first one.
Okay, I like it. I like it more than the first one.
I do like the first one, but I think the second one is just so ridiculous. I love it.
Okay, and then there's like a third one, and I think Viggo Mortensen is in that one.
Yeah, which I've never seen that one.
I have not seen that one either.
I mean, partly because Toby Hooper wasn't involved, so I don't know.
Okay. But, like, whatever, however many weeks ago, I watched the fourth one, Next Generation.
Yeah.
Which, in the credits, they called it something else.
Oh, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Okay. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But anyway, I watched it for the very first time, and I ended up really liking it. And you can totally tell that it was written and directed by a woman.
Yeah.
Because I watched that soon after Exorcist 3, and you can really tell that, although it is a good movie, is not written and directed by a woman.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just an interesting juxtaposition to watch those movies in that particular order, and I would like to know like your take on the movie. You know, I don't know how recently you watched it, although you just say you watched it recently.
Yeah. I should more recently than the first time I saw it. I guess I should say it probably has been. It probably has been a couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess I don't remember a whole lot of the details.
I want to say that it is. I like Renee Zellweger is really good in it, and it's just kind of like it's not surprising because you know the two leads are Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey, and it's like, yeah, they've gone on to do bigger and better things for decades now, and it's like, yeah, they knew that they had two people with talent, and they let them do their thing.
Yeah.
In that movie.
Yeah, and then McConaughey gets to be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Needs to bring some weird energy to it.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't get to do often enough.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't.
But he's got that in him.
Yeah, he doesn't get to play bad guys really, and
yeah,
he was enjoying himself. Like, I don't know if that was like his second movie or some shit, but you know, I thought they were both really good in it. Honestly, I think particularly like Renee Zellweger, because she was not just damsel in distress. Like, she got to be kind of smart girl. You know, there was a different take on Final Girl. It was like smart girl, not virgin girl.
Yeah,
which is a little different. And there was just a really like this one scene where she tells Leatherface to basically shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down, and it came off really well.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, and you know, I'm not a member of the LGBTQ people. You know, I don't know. Can a representative please answer in the comments? You know, I'm not trans, and there is some, I feel like, pretty obvious transphobia in this.
Yeah.
This installment, but also I want to say not as bad as other things of the same era, and that might be like really faint praise.
It kind of is.
But at the same time, I kind of feel like maybe they were trying to say that like this iteration of Leatherface is trans and it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Like,
maybe
Leatherface family seems to have accepted them. Like, there was no ridicule of their skin suit. I mean, but there's still a skin suit.
Yeah.
And you know that, like, it's not Silence of the Lambs, and
I was gonna say, yeah,
it's not Silence of the Lambs, and it's not
Dress to Kill
or Ace Ventura Butt Talker.
Oh well, yeah.
Because I feel like
maybe the worst example.
I think Ace Ventura. I feel like that is the worst bit of transphobia on film.
Yeah, and I think that's the main reason nobody talks about that movie.
I think, yeah, it's yeah, but
that has aged exceptionally poorly.
Yes, comedy does not age well, unfortunately.
Because it's just mean-spirited, and yeah.
And it's just
in that aspect, and it's just haha, look, haha, had a sex change, you know.
Yeah,
that's the joke.
And you know it's bad on a lot of levels. And oddly enough, you know, hey, again, I'm not trans. I'm not trying to like speak for trans persons, but like the dumbass horror movie didn't come off as like mean. At least not in that way. Like,
yeah,
it didn't come off as like there's definitely some spectacle to it because you have a large person dressed in the skin of their victims wielding a motherfucking chainsaw, like they're carving up the government. And but yeah, I don't know, it's definitely a different take, and the material was definitely more respectful to women, like particularly with maybe showcasing abuse and so forth. And I feel like it did a good job of showcasing like that level of abuse and like proximity to power and some weird conspiracy stuff, like particularly with like when the money guy showed up.
Oh, right.
Because you had, although I don't think that guy was Jewish coded, so I don't
remember that, but
yeah, I don't know. Leave a comment below. Has anybody else watched this fucking movie? I want an in-depth dive into Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, aka Matthew McConaughey's best performance. But yeah, I mean, it had some interesting things. Like, I felt like that Matthew McConaughey's accomplice, yet also abused crazy girlfriend or wife or whatever, showing how she was able to manipulate people around her and be non-threatening as an attractive white woman, but still she's holding in the crazy and is an accomplice in these horrible crimes.
Right.
But at the same time, she is a victim also at the hands of Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
In their weird sex games. I mean, it's a movie, not a documentary. Like, all right, I'm going to take Bloodthirst. Sure. I want to get Roadkill. Can I get a healing ability called Eat Roadkill?
Checks out, yeah.
It checks out, but yeah. So I ended up liking the movie more than I thought that I was going to. And, I don't know, hints of maybe not, it kind of reminded me like this has got a little bit more going on, like, I don't know, Slumber Party Massacre, the first one. Like just a little bit of something in there. But still, oh noes, this would probably make me feel bad if if I had body dysmorphia associated with,
right,
yeah.
But you might not see it terribly favorably.
Yeah. This is not the representation that we need or want.
Right. Yeah, definitely not.
So.
Somebody stop. Stop me in line of sight.
I always find it, I don't know, an interesting little time capsule, seeing how far we've come in comparison to like that movie, or at least, my perspective on where we're at now versus how things got portrayed then.
Yeah.
Like with, whatever marginalized group are being portrayed or smeared in, whatever movie.
Yeah.
Like Exorcist 3 is a movie about grumpy old men talking at each other.
Yeah,
in a theater.
It's a grumpy old man movie.
It's a grumpy old man movie. It really is.
Yeah. It's a bit of an actor's showcase.
Yeah.
And writer's showcase.
Yes.
But women,
no,
they're technically women in the movie.
As plot devices and props, they're all spooky.
Yeah.
Or victims.
Yeah, which I know he continues that, because in like the 9th configuration, I don't remember if that was before.
That was before, and I've yet to see it, but it's in my to be queue.
But there are no women in that movie, I don't think.
Okay.
Barely any.
Okay.
But at least in that case, I mean, it's about like a kind of sort of a military hospital.
Okay,
for soldiers suffering various traumas.
Okay. Well, they couldn't get a nurse.
Yeah, no. Unless there's some just kind of walking around in there, but maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
If there's a female speaking part in that movie, I don't remember it.
Okay, I've been meaning to watch that one because I wanted to see what kind of similarities are going on in that movie as Exorcist 3.
Yeah, but I really liked it. It's an interesting movie.
Okay.
It's very weird, but your mileage may vary.
I want the objective truth and the entire objective truth. I want to know how many good creative ions can be collected when I take my sample.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't taking any reading. So
you didn't take it. You didn't get out your. I don't know.
No, I just went off vibes.
It was just vibes. Okay.
I judge a lot of movies off their vibes.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, because a lot of people they get really hung up on stuff that they don't really understand, like cinematography. I see people all the time talk about, oh, this movie has great cinematography. I'm like, do you even know what that means? Or is that just something you've heard people say?
I mean, in all honesty, maybe it's because I'm streaming and I'm just thinking about this and I don't know anything. I don't really know what cinematography looks like, other than it's what the movie looks like.
Right.
I mean, that's as far as I know.
And like if you've seen a fair number of movies, you generally know what looks good.
Yes.
Like when a movie looks good or when it looks bad.
Yes.
Or even when when something looks intentionally bad, right? Or
yes.
whatever. But like all the cinematography stuff, yeah, there's so much stuff in there with cameras and lenses and lights and all that kind of stuff that it really just becomes a shorthand for, did you think the movie looked good?
Yeah.
Which is really a different issue from the cinematography.
I think maybe more I think of as like how a shot is maybe comprised, or like the movement of the camera rather than what the
it's
film
basically
looks like.
how any given frame is photographed, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. How it looks from like an aesthetic standpoint.
Okay.
Yeah, how it's framed, what you can see, how much of it you can see.
How it's
there's all
lit.
kinds of how it's lit is very important. And there are things you can intuitively understand to an extent, but a lot of people get really hung up on things like that. And like editing, people talk about editing, and I'm like, most people they don't know what editing is. Again, it's like, did it look good, right? Because a lot of that stuff is fairly invisible if you're watching a movie.
Yeah,
And it
unless
probably
you
should be.
yeah, it should be stuff you don't notice unless something is wrong, like I don't know, a Christopher Nolan Batman fight scene where the editing is just like over here, over there, over here, over there,
And you can't tell what's going on.
and you can't tell what's going on.
That you can confidently be like, oh, that's not great editing.
Yeah,
So,
because the information is not being communicated.
Yeah. I need to level up.
Okay. I don't need to level up. I'm sad. Well, actually, I need to put something in there. I need something. I'll sell some stuff. Oh, quartermaster. Show me your wares. I do think, like, there's a difference between learning something based on people pointing something out, like, I don't know, the J.J. Abrams, like, lens flare. To where it's like, once you know what you're looking for, it's like, oh, lens flare, or Quentin Tarantino in Feet, and then it's like, I bet some lady is going to be barefoot in this movie, and then you can't unsee it.
Yeah, then you see it all the time,
and then it's like, boom. Or like I've heard people talk about George A. Romero shot a bunch of stuff and then made his movie in editing, which, to be fair, is my understanding how you make a movie. But
a lot of movies are made in editing.
Yeah,
it's one of the most important steps in the process.
But something like, I don't know, the zombie movie in the mall, Dawn of the Dead. Like, there was a lot of chaos in that scene because, they didn't get the mall for very long and they had to shoot at night, and then, there's a bunch of shit going on and they splice it together.
Yeah.
You're not going to get big long cuts in the mall scene. Like, what movie that I really like that had all the big long cuts? Marriage is Hard. Sam Neill was in it. Possession.
Yeah.
Because that was, there was a lot of like really long shots in that movie.
Oh yeah.
To contain all the acting.
It's a very confident movie.
Yeah, so I am confident that I don't know what I'm doing, and I need something that does recharge reduction. There we go. There we go. There we go. And here we are. I'm ready. I'm ready when you are.
I'm almost ready.
Okay. You do one more and call it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's make it a good one.
Well, the events here are beneath my notice now.
No. Is
I'm
it,
going to move on up.
is it because of all the pores?
This area is too poor. I've extracted all the value from this area. I've left it impoverished.
It is a
Line my
husk.
own pockets. Time to move on to a new neighborhood.
Okay. We've destroyed and gentrified everything that we can.
Yep.
Okay.
Now it's time to leave.
All right, so we got to go to Cap. All right. Which is, the ferry is over this way. Okay. I guess I'll take Leap on this character. I guess.
It makes sense.
Okay.
It's thematic.
South. Well, you got any? What have you been watching? Anything?
We weirdly have been going back and watching a lot of Red Letter Media stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, just somehow it got to Shannon's attention and she wanted to check it out and she ended up really liking it, so we've watched a bunch of like the best of the worst
Okay.
stuff. Which, yeah, I mean, is very entertaining. We've been enjoying it. Because there's a ton of that stuff I haven't seen.
Yeah, they got I mean, it's like they've been making, YouTube content for like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, they've been doing it for like a decade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And just kind of, yeah, getting the pulse of some of those bad movies that
Okay.
I'm not too familiar with. What is this? Defeat Mario and guards. Let's go beat up Mario.
Oh, God, they're going to sick Luigi on us.
Oh, well. I'm going to have him declared a terrorist.
I was getting ready to say, like, these characters are afraid of Luigi.
Yes. It's our arch nemesis.
There's an opening in Evil because of Luigi. Oh. That's very bad. I contemn Luigi.
As far as like, I don't know if we've watched a whole lot movie wise. We have been watching that show Yellow Jackets. I don't know if I've talked about it.
Yeah, you said it was good, and
yeah,
I've been meaning to watch it.
Yeah, I'd recommend checking it out. It's
okay.
Like its third season or whatever just wrapped up. It is, I don't know, I find it a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, you did mention that there's a little, like a touch of Lost in it, maybe.
Yeah, and it's kind of getting to the point where it needs to maybe get to the point.
Okay, produce or get off the pot.
Yeah.
Okay,
I feel like I'm getting jerked around a little bit. There's some parallels with Breaking Bad, interestingly.
Okay.
That they've been setting up with kind of the main character, and that's interesting stuff. But
okay.
But yeah,
I'm definitely gonna watch it at some point. I just don't know when. I finished all of Nos 4 A28 whatever. I watched.
Oh right.
Yeah, it was only 2 seasons, and I really liked it. I would recommend it. I think the first season is probably stronger than the second.
Okay.
it does make me want to read the book, oddly enough. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it, although there was maybe an episode or two in the second season that I was kind of like, you cheating.
No, okay.
Because it makes me feel like, you know how, like, and I can ask this question a little bit more, when you have characters, say, in a comic book that the powers are not quite clearly defined.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say they have vibe powers. I'm going to refer to that as they have vibe level powers. Or maybe they have plot powers. Maybe plot powers is better. Where you have individuals in the show that have powers, and it's pulling from comic books and horror, and I feel like that it does better at horror than maybe the comic book stuff.
Okay.
Although I did like it, and I would be interested in Joe Hill's other stuff. And, you know, in some ways, it feels like a collaboration with his dad. Some ways it feels maybe a little derivative. Like maybe there's just a little bit too much Easter eggy stuff. But, you know, hey, I mean, I assume he's going to inherit all that intellectual property, so... You know, if he's got a note from his dad, then, you know, it's fine. Like, that's...
Yeah.
He has more actual ownership to this stuff than I do as a fan of you know, Stephen King, but still.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
It's fair. But, like, there's just some ill-defined powers... And I feel like that is a common thing in comic books, particularly. And it's always the villain. The villain always is just flat out more powerful / their powers are just less defined. And I'm always, you know, I'm thinking of like Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, Doctor Doom, and it becomes very, well, you're just using your last resort points, motherfucker. Like, the Dungeon Master doesn't want you to die yet.
The writer is working with them.
Yes, this is an inside job.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, and, you know, I'm not trying to give anything away, but there's just some ill-defined power edge. And it kind of cuts across where other characters have rigidly defined powers, like to the point where they are explicitly telling, you know, us, the audience, you know, actually I can't do that. and I found that irksome.
Yeah, I get that.
But at the same time, there's some really cool stuff in it, and I marathoned the show basically. Like, I watched both seasons, I think, in under a week, or maybe just over a week. I was actually, like, I really did like it. And it did some stuff really well. But I will warn you, the Zachary Quinto does a voice.
Oh,
He does a voice.
it's the comedy voice.
He does an old man voice.
All right.
So, Zachary Quinto does an old man voice at points in time in the show, and it is clearly that he is putting on his old man voice.
Yeah.
And he's really good in the show. He's really good in the show, and there's some really cool makeup effects and so forth. And it's I really don't want to sound like I'm backhanding the show. You know, I've already made fun of Andy Beshear today. I don't want to make fun of Stephen King and Stephen King's son and Zachary Quinto. Yeah.
Yeah, just one of those things kind of takes you out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like a little bit of unintentional humor or whatever. But at the same time, like, the show is very self-aware about certain things, and it does some really, really cool things. Like, it makes Christmas music creepy in a really effective way.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm not somebody that really likes Christmas music. Like,
yeah, same here.
And, like, for whatever reason, Jess is like, I like Christmas music during the designated Christmas music time. And I used to work retail.
I was going to say, I have retail trauma for Christmas music.
Yes.
Like, I've just now gotten to the point where I can tolerate it.
Oh, God. The trauma of retail.
Yeah. But I hear Christmas music and I'm like, oh, this fucking shit again.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have not recovered from my 7 years at Kroger.
Yeah. In this household, Mariah Carey is a war criminal. She needs to be held accountable for what she's done.
Oh God! The having a wonderful Christmas time by whatever Beatle.
Yeah, by Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Oh,
I despise that song. Ugh.
I can hear.
Oh yeah, just thinking about it, I'm like, ugh.
Oh God, I'm just putting the eggs away, listening to that fucking song.
I hear that song and I'm like, the wrong Beatle died. That's how visceral my hatred of that song is.
Oh no, the Beatles are gonna.
That's all right, I can take them.
You're gonna be able to take Sir Ringo Starr and.
Unless they come at me with whatever magic sword they get for being a knight. I assume you get a magic sword. Otherwise, what's the point?
I don't know. It's
the Queen gives you a relic stolen from another country.
I was gonna try to make some sort of like it's the sword of transphobia. The sword of Turf Island.
I think J.K. Rowling's got that one. She worked hard for it.
Oh yeah, as a palate cleanser, I really need to make my J.K. Rowling's character.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna treat myself after I get done with another Andy Beshear podcast. All right, let's eject.
Eject.
Oh God, I'm gonna make the Queen of Turf Island, Turflandia.
Made enemies of J.K. Rowling, the Beatles, and Stephen King estate.
And Andy Beshear.
And Andy Beshear.
I just want him to run for Senate.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
Forget this president business.
Come on. All right, I'm gonna send off to the present people. Remember to, I don't know, follow or whatever. And the future people, I don't know. I'll post this at some point in time. Like, subscribe, and I don't know. Go follow the Andy Beshear podcast and tell him he should get his ass to the Senate. All right. I don't know if this is free speech. I'm not bullying a fellow YouTube person. Where's the off button? I'm looking for the off button. All right. Okay. Thanks. Bye, everybody.